So with any luck, the engine comes out in this video, or at least gets into the companionway. I'll have to arrange with the marina to hoist it out, but if I can get it into the companionway, that's the hard part done. So I am feeling terribly overwhelmed because I kind of have a vague, I have concepts of a plan. I need to get the Seacocks out and I need to build a rail. I need to measure the width of the engine to see if it's going to fit through. There's a strut, I'll show you in a minute, that separates the front access hatch where the engine is. I'm really hoping I don't have to cut it. If it wasn't there, it would be a lot easier to pull the engine straight out. For this reason, I may cut it and then just glue it back in afterwards. So I came over here to get ready to show you what I was talking about. And I just realized, I think if I clean up all these screws, I can see daylight through there. I wonder if I take all of these screws out, because they're not even bunged. I can make bungs later. Anyways, if I take this frame out, can I get this out? Have to take these off, they're little flat screws. If I take these off, are there screws up here that hold this in place? I don't know, I'm thinking this might be glued in. In any case, I wonder if I can just take this whole frame out, because you can see, I don't know if it's coming through well, but if I could bring it straight forward, that would make this so much easier. Otherwise, I have to come at an angle like this. You know, if I can get this out, that also means that the engine's not going to mar this wood up. I think that's going to be my attempt. I have been thinking about this and planning for this since I bought the boat over 2 years ago, 3 years ago. 3 years ago I've had the boat now. Jeez. How could it be that long? I am very, 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 very nervous. Every part of my body right now is like, you can put it off till later. Thank you, ADHD, that's really helpful. Okay, I need to go change my pants into my work clothes and get at her, so I'll be right back. Okay, first up, let's see about getting these off. Take this one off first. When the electric motors and the batteries and everything are in, I want to take all of this wood, sand it back, and refinish it. I don't know what I'm going to do about the white surface here because like there's rubbed right through the veneer. And I don't want to fall into ship fitters disease. Oh geez, that's just spinning free. Oh, that's also broken. Is it broken or just two pieces? One thing I could do too is, I'm starting to put white oak in the boat in a few places. That's an interesting screw. I don't know if you can see that. Oops. That's a very interesting screw. Very tapered. And I see nothing holding this in. It is wood under here, so it could be that it's glued. Actually, is it wood? No, it's that, the same laminate material. I wonder if maybe there's a, oh, there's a bung. Let me take this off and see if there's a screw behind that. Sounds like a breaker just popped. One of the things that's always bugged me is that these are not plumb. See how this is pointed down? I wonder if they did that on purpose, but it always kind of bugged me. Anyways, I don't see any sign of a screw going through to hold this in. See, if it's glued in, it can't be glued in very strong. Like there's got to be a joint in here somehow. How about down here? This is wood on wood, so I expect this to be a glue joint. I'm going to try to clear out these here. Actually, what I'll do is I'll see if I can get this frame loose. If this frame comes loose, then I can start moving this and see. This feels loose already. I'm really grateful this was not bunged. I would not have thought of this if it was. I don't know if I finished my earlier thought, but in case I didn't. So, a lot of this wood here I believe is teak or mahogany, which is exceedingly expensive and more than that, protected. So replacing it with teak or mahogany is very unlikely, very unfeasible I should say. I already started putting some white oak in as the plinth for the head, for the airhead. I'm really trying not to strip the head, so if I stop talking it's because I'm concentrating. So I'm starting to think I might start to replace more of the wood with white oak. I know Sapelli mahogany is relatively available. Peter Knowles is a big fan of that on Travels with Geordie, and it looks really nice. If I'm going to use white oak in other places, things like that stepped up there that's cracked, if I can't salvage it, then maybe I'll just replace it with white oak. Start using white oak as an accent wood around the boat, so that it doesn't seem like it was just piecemealed in. Oh, if this frame comes out, I'm going to be so happy. Sorry, spider. There's a couple screws up in here you can't see that will keep this from going backwards, but I'll knock those out. If I take those out, will this whole thing come off? One disassembly at a time. Let's see if I can get this out without taking the top off. But if I do have to take the top off, that'll make it easier to hoist it out of the companionway. Oh, that's promising. That's very promising. Over here, instead of the screws going in the side, they're coming in from the back. This support is blocking the bunghole for this. So to take this off, I look like I have to take the back piece off, then take this off. Might as well take that piece at that point off. And then the question becomes, what's left holding the this counter in place? Let's see how we go. Okay, this is connected to this somehow. What is going on here? Oh, I see. The wood actually comes in behind this, which means I probably need to take this panel out, which means the battery's in the way. Ay, 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 ay. At some point, the previous owner had the woodworking all refinished, and I can tell whoever did it did not do much prep time, because I can see varnish on the veneer in a lot of places and over the screws and whatnot. I'm glad that you did it, don't get me wrong. If the previous owner ever happens to see this, I'm very grateful for the condition the boat was in. Especially, I mean, I know what I paid for it, but it wasn't a grade A refinishing job. So now this should be free to go backwards. What I'm wondering now is, can I take this bar off without taking this one off? Oh, have I not sung the praises of this 90-degree tool lately? Lordy, lordy, do I love it. I have to take the vertical support off. Oh, too fast. Okay, first piece of actual trim out. Putting the screws back in. I don't forget where they came from. What I'm doing is I'm putting my finger underneath it just so I can feel the tip. With the tip of the screw just barely sticking out, when I go to slide this back in, I can slide it and I'll feel it fall into the hole, and then I can just come under and go zip, 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 and put them all back in. All right. And yes, there was another screw in there. This screw was hidden by that crossbar. See what I mean by the varnish? They obviously just slathered the varnish off and didn't worry about it getting onto the laminate. There we go. Got it without taking apart the rest of the boat. Now I can get to the screw that's back here. Now there should be nothing holding this frame in place. That is preventing that from going backwards. So I have to get that out. This has got to have been done or modified after the boat was new. With screws of different heads. Some are, I'm getting the two different heads on these screws. Now, okay, this I believe is glued to a strip that's back here, and the strip back here is screwed in. All right, now will it come out? Okay, that's falling back and hitting the bus bar. Okay, I can see there's a screw right here that goes into this vertical piece. I fear this is glued to this. I'm going to get my knife and see if I can prise this loose. Yeah, that definitely feels glued in. Why? Why would you do that? Why would you glue here and only here? Oh, dumb me. I bet you these screws are what's holding it in. I bet you that's exactly, yep, that's what it was. Okay, so now the question becomes, how do I deal with this glued edge? You can see how close I am to freeing this thing. This whole post moves with it, so I just have to break it free of this side. I don't want to break this plastic because that would be a pain in the arse to rebuild. I need to get this blade out because the thickness of this is too much. I wonder if a few short blasts of the dead weight would help. Ah! I can feel a screw hole down here. If I can get that bottom screw off here, and I can get the screw that's hidden back here off, I might be able to take this out without removing the whole frame. Got that one. Oh, was that the only thing holding that in? No. One of the downside to mass produced, by boat standards, this is mass producing, it was 180 were made, is that they weren't really meant to last as long as this one has, so they didn't really put much thought into deconstruction and repair. As much as I love this boat, I have to admit what it is. This is the struggle bus. And it feels brittle, so I have a feeling I am going to break it. Oh, it's raining. Of course it is. I'm going to try to get this screw out. Okay, the top is now free. There was another screw. That's why it wasn't coming off. Okay, I ripped out one screw hole. All things considered, I am happy with that. Let me show you what I mean. I felt this screw hole, but I didn't feel this one. So I just ripped this out of the wood. Oh, I'm happy. I am happy now. Got it. I might put a couple screws back in the frame just to keep it from moving when we're pulling the engine. When I went to get out of the boat, this here was super floppy, so this is not screwed back in, it's just jammed in so I can step on this without it breaking on me. So put some screws back in here, and then I'm going to start figuring out what it takes to get these off. Oh, now this is in the way. No, it's not. Much better filming. Large, they're big. Actually, you know what? Let's get the shaft log off first. These are comically large. Like, I don't have the smallest, daintiest hands. I freely admit that. But these make my hands feel small. Okay. Let's get this out of the way. Now, one thing I have to wonder is, does the shaft log create some sort of a chemical seal? Is there a glue or something like that in there? I'll have to make sure when I put the shaft log back on. Oh, Joe, how did you do this? That it's done right, because if this seal lets go, the boat sinks. Here we go. Shaft log off. See under there? This is rigid, and the oil pan is going to bump it, which further confirms that I bet you this engine was dropped in before the deck was attached to the hull. Okay, so one of the things that I asked on the Yanmar group for advice on how to pull the engine, and a lot of folks said, take this off and drop this down to here. I cannot do that. Oh, there's the outdoors. Hello, outdoors. I cannot do that because the oil pan is already going to foul against this. And I don't want to put too much weight on that, because if I crack that tube, I could be in a lot of trouble. I knew this was I knew this was going to be a big job. And, surely it will be. Okay, so that's off. Now I want to get these off. Okay, I need to get the drill going. So in theory, this should now... Does this whole thing screw on to the base underneath? I bet you it does. Let me get my plier or my wrench. Might have to phone a friend. So I asked my friend Damien, Brewpeg, about whether this screws on or whatnot, and he was not sure. He hasn't used the particular type before, but he was saying that after the age of these, well, after 43, 44 years, however old these are, he figures 70% chance I'm going to break them trying to get them off, no matter what I do. And honestly, he was saying I probably shouldn't use them anymore anyway. They're nice marine bronze, so as scrap they're worth something, but they're not trustworthy. If I don't glass them over, I will replace them with modern, it's like a fancy type of plastic through-hull that they use, also avoids corrosion issues. So I am going to continue trying to get these out. I've got all 3 of these here that need to come out. This one in particular has to come out because it's in line with the rail I want to create so that I can guide the engine forward. Should be righty-tighty, lefty-loosey to get this thing on, but it's, yeah, like I said, I might have to use unreasonable force and I might well break it, and that's just that. So righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So I should be able to spin this around like this. Yeah, she is not budging. There's probably a lot of sealant on there. I don't know if you can see it there, but there is some sort of, I don't know, Seacock. What were they using 40-some years ago? I'm going to say Seacocks, but I don't think that's actually what it is. But that's going to make it so it really doesn't want to turn around. And if I have to, I'm just going to come at it with a hammer and smash them. I'm saying it to you as much as I'm saying it to myself to console myself with the fact that I'm probably going to be damaging what used to be very expensive. I have a friend/supporter coming over in a bit. Oh, yeah, whatever this is was not meant to come off. Oh. Which, I mean, it's a through-hull. That's, this is how it should be. Okay, this is the one that's more important. I'm going to stop futzing with this one and move on to this one. A fair bit of marine bronze when this is over. I'll have to figure out something to do with it. All of the... oh, shit. This is not going well. Yeah, see that screw head down there? That one as well. These are pretty heavily corroded. I am starting to think I am not getting any of these Seacocks off in one piece. Okay, you know what? If I can at least separate the top half, I can get the 2x4 into here to make the rail. That feels like it's going to break on me. Coming! Okay, so my friend Ryan stopped by, who's going to be helping me pull the engine. You might be noticing there's a slight problem there. That was my doing, not his. We were trying to get this off. Everything seems to be seized up as hell. I did get those screws off. I used, where is it? I used the pick to clear the, you don't want to focus on that. I used the pick to clean out the head of the screw enough to be able to get them in. So all 3 of them are now, have no screws holding them in anymore. I don't think we're going to get these things out. I think it's just far too tired and seized, and, well, I'm not obviously trying to save them anymore. Latest makeup fashions. Anyways, so Ryan had a great idea of like this step drill bit. It's like a drill, but each step it gets wider and wider. So he had the suggestion of going to the underside. I'll put a picture here of what it looks like. It's night now, so we're going to do this at night. I don't know if I'm going to be able to record it. But to go in from the bottom with a stepper drill. Bronze is a very soft metal. So the idea is to run the stepper drill until we cut through the bronze and that outer ring comes off. That outer ring is what's sort of clamping it to the hull. So with that broken off, we should be able to come back up in here and hit it from the side or wiggle it or whatever and try to pop the Seacocks out. Seeing how corroded these are, I am not going back in the water with any of the original through-hulls. I'm kind of like, I sailed home with these. They did the job, but they need to go. Welcome to Under the Boat. My friend Ryan went off to buy that step drill, but this one here is a 2-inch at least, and the step drills don't go that big. So I've told him not to bother. It kind of seems like it's plastic. So He's going to come back with the Sawzall, and we're going to try to do, basically cut it into 4 pieces. So imagine the compass. Cut north, cut south, cut east, cut west, so it's into 4 segments, and then try to beat them off. Once they're off, then I can go back up inside and see if we can break the seal and knock these things out. So he went back to try to see what he had. While I'm waiting, I'm going to try to cut through the years of bottom paint. It would be much better if I had a putty knife or something, but I didn't bring any. Is this? Oh no, that's brass. It's not plastic. It just sounded it because there's so much paint on it. It looks like there's a tool that you put up inside of it. There's 2 little ribs that come in that it probably grabs into, and you can use that to rotate it, but I don't have the tool, and these are never going back in the water, so I don't care if I have to break it. One of the risks of doing this is that you might cut into the hull. And at first I was like, oh, I don't want to do this for that reason. But I now realize that's much ado about nothing, because I'm probably glassing these over, which means I'm going to have to grind them back at, what is it, a 7-to-1 or 12-to-1 ratio. So I'm probably cutting these back quite a bit to do the layup of fiberglass to close it all off again. So whatever nicking I might do is going to be well within what I'm going to be grinding out anyway. It's been raining, so I've been telling myself a lot today whenever I come outside. If you're going to be a sailor, get used to being wet and don't complain about it. I thought this was going to be smaller. Oh, also, when I opened it up, I had the camera off, but it was just stuffed with garbage, which was probably at least part of my problem on the trip home. And one of the big reasons I want to go to air source cooling for the electric motors. Water is obviously a lot more efficient. Its ability to absorb heat is far greater than air, but these clog. That's always going to be a concern. You know, the paint isn't as thick on here as I thought it was. Not even a millimeter thick. You know, before I started making these videos, I heard a lot of other creators say things like, you know, thank you for supporting, just by watching, that's helping. And I got to experience that from the other side a bit more today. Doing my taxes. Yes, it's late. I'm technically going to have a loss on this little YouTube small business of mine. And we were talking about how to claim it and how much to claim and whatnot. And I said, well, I can show the channel's doing okay. Would that help if I get audited? She says, oh yeah, it would. So there you go. Simply watching these videos has helped a lot. It's helping with my taxes. How's that for odd? Okay, not much more I can do until Ryan gets here, so I'm gonna turn the camera off for a bit. So Ryan came back. We tried his Sawzall, but he didn't have a proper metal bed, so it was not working. And this is not a heavy duty one, so the wood bit that was in there, its teeth were worn. He was like, just go for it, but the batteries wouldn't last. So he's very kindly gone to his place to see if he has any metal bits for this. Oh, feels terrible cutting into my boat, but it's part of the process. I mean, I'm so far past the point of no return at this point. I've got no choice but to make this make this work. So Ryan's bringing out, he got me that, which is very kind. That got a little bit, and now he's using the big ones. That is very, very firmly in. Oh, is it moving? I don't know. I mean, if you break it, I don't care. It's moving. Oh. Don't smuck your hands if she lets go, though. But it is moving. I ain't the weakest, but I'm not this strong, so I'm glad you're able to get at her. If you're struggling, there's no way I would have done it.
This isn't strength, this is stubbornness.
I mean, it's the same. Ryan said earlier that back in the 80s, they probably used the good shit for gluing it down, the toxic stuff.
Did that move at all, or is it just...
It had movement. Whether it was loosening or just flexing the hull, I don't know, but it moved. Don't kill yourself, but if you want to keep going, I'm not stopping you. You know what? I think it's actually deformed.
You think it's deforming?
It's... Oh yeah, she's deformed. What? There, it turned. It didn't turn much, but it turned, which means the seal's broke.
Okay.
Do you want a breather?
Do
you want a cider?
Cider?
Yeah.
Cider sounds good.
Oh! Did I have it in?
The top part's moving.
The top part gets us to the point where we can get the rail done, which is the real time constraint, is getting the engine out, right? Is there anything I can do to help hold it in place, or would I just likely get my knuckles wrapped?
I'm not sure.
Take a breather, dude. Like, we're not in a rush. Drink break over. Ryan is trying to use, this is actually really clever, an F-clamp onto the pipe wrench so that it doesn't slip off. Do we edit that out, or do we leave it in?
Well, we're leaving that in. Maybe not so clever.
Yeah, you broke it. It's coming. The top cap is coming off at the very least. Actually, can you grab it with the F-clamp and spin it now?
Let's give that a try. Yeah. Pretty easily, actually.
Yeah, because it seemed like it was more just a question of leverage at this point. Does it feel like it's been deformed?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
There's definitely a oval shape to it.
Alright, good morning. With the top off, I think we've got enough space now to put the rails in. So, where is it? Finally found the only writing utensil on this boat. You really got to leave some pencils here. I am now going to go and mark up some 2x4s and start building the rails. I don't remember why I had these on the boat, but I have them on the boat. They're 1x3s, I think, so they're 3/4 of an inch, was that 18 millimeters thick. Looking underneath where the oil pan is and the clearance needed to get over the prop tube, I'm thinking that if I cut this, and I've got another one, into length, I can use the little cheap jacks that I bought to lift the engine up, slide this under the engine mounts, and then see if I can find some screws to screw this in so that as I pull the engine forward, this slides. If I take this and I cut like a 45-degree angle on it, it also means that this would act as a bit of a ramp wherever there's a transition as we're pulling the engine. I'm hoping that'll be enough to clear the engine. Anyways, that's what I'm doing now. So I should stop talking and start doing. Putting this light up under here has made working in this area so good. I'm going to definitely be putting permanent lighting in here when I get to the lighting phase of the project. Whoops! With the lazarette cleared out, I can now measure how long I need the sliders, I guess I'll call them, the sliders to be. Let's say 58 or 60 centimeters. Let's say 60 centimeters. That's the outdoors now. Looks like I have no power again. The breaker has tripped a couple of times at the shore power. Okay, let's see if we have power now. Fuck! Trip the breaker again. This is not off to a good start. Alright, I'm gonna have to take the extension cord down below and cut my wood down, running it straight off the outlets because I can't seem to run it through the boat. The breaker started tripping a couple times on its own the last couple of days. I don't know why. It's a GFCI, not an AFC. Did I just get my power back? Yeah, I got my power back. That is weird. Okay, at least I found some shade. All the workbench anyone needs. It's chamfered now. And I cut that the wrong way. It's a parallelogram. Okay, that's fine. It'll still work. So that side is sloped that way, so I want this side sloped this way. Got 3 of them, almost the right size. So now I'm wondering, If that Multiplus that I bought for 400 bucks before I came home, if it was faulty and it's been tripping the breaker and I just got really lucky on my trip home. So the next thing now is to pull all of these bolts off, and then I'll see if I can jack this up a little bit and start sliding these under. I wonder how many years it's been since these were last out. That's 7 off. One more to go. Can I do it from back here? That is all the bolts off. Now the engine is, in theory, sitting free. If that's harsh shadows, is that harsh lighting? There we go. That lighting's not too bad. I was going to try to lift it at this point and slide these cut pieces in, but I think I don't want to physically try to move the boat or move the motor until Ryan and or Andrew are here, so that if it falls or whatever, I've got someone here to help me. So that means the next and really last stage is I need to cut some 2x4s at an angle to come across here. If I cut an L shape into the 2x4 that's the same height as this, then that means the transition, oh no, because the engine's going to be riding on this. This is going to be attached to this, so, or is it? Oh, I wish I had a better idea of what I was doing. Okay, well anyways, I need to get the 2x4 coming across like this and lipped over here. I'll probably have it just sit flush to the top of this and put a support under here to take up the weight and do the same thing here. I don't know why, but this cut is the one that's been making me most nervous because I really don't know what I'm doing. The total height has to be 22 and a half. Absolutely nothing on a boat is square. That works. Is that 23? Seems to be. This is 9 centimeters wide, more or less. So I need 23 minus 9 is 14 centimeters. This is the perfect length. Okay, so that is what I have to cut out, and I'll make another one the same. Now, I marked this just for the wood, but the fiberglass sticks out the back a little bit, so I'm going to bring this back to, say, here. Very harsh sun. Let's get this cutting done. Every day is leg day when your boat's on the hard. Okay, so I want two 15 centimeter pieces. Should probably go get a couple F-clamps, and then I can do these cuts at the same time. Okay, that's vaguely 5 centimeters. That is really loud. Really wish I had my ear defenders with me. Okay, there, now it's slotted. Clean up my mess. It's like October 5th or 6th, and it feels like it's a midsummer afternoon. It's so hot. We're killing the planet, y'all. Anyways, here's the cuts. All right. These are too long. Not by much. So you can see it actually fits. There's an old piece of fiberglass that's sticking out that's kind of blocking it. I'm wondering, it's right through a knot. Of course it is. What about this side? Okay, I'm gonna get the dead weight and see if I can hammer that in place. Okay, that's as far as I can go with that because this gets in the way. So really, I need to notch this, but that worked at least. You know what, I'm gonna take it out and I'm gonna notch it. Where's my pen fell out of my ear. I'm gonna notch it back about this far. and I'll take one more notch out of here. So this needs to be cut on a bit of an angle. But I'm going to try just setting it down here because it's not going to take a lot of side-to-side weight. It's going to be mostly down. Okay. It's definitely higher than I would like. Now I made this 15 centimeter instead of 14 centimeters, so let me, ideally I'd like to take that much height off of this one. Cut that off the lower piece, but that looks otherwise good. It'll probably be the same deal here. Okay, the fiberglass layup for this was not done very well, and this has got a lip sticking out. I may just have to cut that. God damn it! Trip the breaker again. Something's causing the breaker to trip constantly. That's much better. You know what it might be? I adapted the extension cord to be able to plug into my shore power cable to make it an extension cord. And it rained really hard last night, so I wonder if some water got in there. I think I'm going to take a little bit off the back of this too. I'm going to go do that and be right back. You can tell the heat's getting to me. That last section was with the DJI audio because I forgot to turn on this camera. Go me. The breaker's tripping faster and faster now. I took the end off that I modified. Looks dry inside. Plugged it back in and it stayed on for about 60 seconds and then popped the breaker. So I turned off the pilot berth and port outlet so that only the starboard outlet is on. And next time I go down I'll turn it on and see if that stays on. I have to have a short here somewhere. I just don't know where. I cut these pieces back. Let's see if they fit better. Also, I don't know if you can tell, but I cut a chamfer onto it, so that should help. Okay, so the lined one was here. Now it's too low, but that's okay. I can drop it off and ramp it up. That's fine. Okay, so this one's good now. This one. And this one is a bit high. I gotta go down and check the power anyway, so you know what? I'll take a hair off this and then also turn on the power again and be right back. Okay, let's try now. Probably should have taken a little bit more off, but that's okay. It's gonna slide off the metal. This is still higher. If anything, I might like to shim this a little. There. That might be what I do. That's not looking too bad. It's still touching right here. And I would like to bring this over just a little bit further. Let me see, where's my measuring tape? 41.5. That cocks it over a little bit, but that works. I'm going to take a little bit of this edge off. That's good enough. That's good enough right there. Okay. Let's put some screws into this. Oh. This last couple of days I'm going up and down are really hurting them legs right there. Which of course just means I need to do more exercise. One of the biggest lessons I learned when I was taking my woodworking courses was how important taking your time to your, oh, these are too short. Taking your time to do setup is. I used to think setup was a waste of time. Nope, and so it makes all the difference. Okay, one leg done. Then what I think I'll do is I'll cut one piece to come out here to brace the flip. There goes the breaker again. Oh, what is setting that off? Okay, I'm gonna turn off all of the outlets and see if I can just run the AC without it breaking at all. Oh, it's annoying. Blew out the other side. Okay, fine woodworking, this is not. I need a 50 centimeter piece I can screw on to the end of this. Okay, You know what? I think I might actually drop this down lower so that there's less blockage when I come over. This piece is really just to keep this from shifting left to right. There goes the breaker again. All of the AC breakers in the boat are now off, so I don't know what's triggering it. Anyways, this is as done as I can make it. I suppose I could put another cross member down here. Sitting here wondering if I somehow broke a ground. There was 2 ground wires going to the engine. I would have assumed, do I have 2 independent ground buses now? Because it's a GFCI, ground fault. Okay, well anyways, battery's charged. There's enough battery to get me through the day. I need to stay focused on the engine. Okay, if I come up 6 centimeter, that should be enough. 6 centimeter is there. That should give me enough clearance. Sometimes you have to really sink the damn things to get it to pull tight. Alright. This should now be as skookum as we can make it. And still fit. I think that's the second time today I did a bunch of recording with just the DJI. I turn this on and I keep forgetting to hit the power button. So now this is pretty good about racking left to right. And up here, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it because of the light. There you go. We've got a 4x4 going across the companionway. And there's a couple pieces of wood on either side to keep it from shifting and falling in. That's not going to take up too much weight. The main idea behind that is to drop down so we can grab onto the eye so that we can sort of lift the front of it. I'll have to put something here to protect this. Lift the weight off the front of the engine as we're pulling it forward. Okay, so the next step though is, now that this is ready-ish, is to get these super high quality $12 lifting jacks and try to lift the engine enough to get balls, the sliders underneath to raise them up a bit. Okay, well it fits. How the hell is this going to work? It's hitting the strut back there.
If you take the wood structure out, you might get an angle from the side.
Oh, this is annoying. Actually, where's the... Can you pass me the needle nose pliers that are in the group? Yeah, I've got that, thanks. Oh, it's coming up. Can you see it? First time that's been loose in probably several decades.
Yeah, it's fiberglass is, I think, more itchy.
Yes. Once this is up, I'll leave this one in and I'll take the other one into the back. One in. Just a wee bit more. What I wanted to do, check to see if the oil pan was high enough to clear the... My brain is not working. No, it's not.
How much more?
Honestly, I think a full 2x4 is needed.
Ooh.
Here, you want to take a look and tell me whether you think it's going to foul? My guess is yes, but not by much.
It's uncomfortably close.
Yeah, I think that 1/4 inch may not sound like a lot, but it's probably worth getting.
Yeah.
I'll cut a couple of 58 centimeter pieces.
You have put a cross in the front, so put a beam between these two here. Because then we can just hook up to that 2x4 and pull the whole thing together as one piece.
He's suggesting putting another stringer across these two to keep them together, which I like, and it also gives us something we can hook onto to help pull. Yeah. Thank you.
Go up a bit more.
Yep. Thank you. I need to get this, the back of the engine lifted now. This is such an awkward crank. Oh, I forgot, there's an arm here I need to take off. It's the alternator mount. On the stove. Thank you. Can you give it a couple rotations? Okay.
Oh, that's all it took. Nice.
Okay. I'm gonna let it down now. Alright. I have blown more than $24 in less time with less sense of accomplishment, so this was a good purchase. So now the next thing is I need to put a couple screws in here so that when this gets pulled forward, it slides on the wood.
Like these.
Perfect. There. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna go put some screws in this, and then we'll set up to pull. The center support is off. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, hello.
Well, you need to have a good superhero entrance.
So the concern has been that oil pan. I mean, right there, yeah, it should clear now, but that's why we wanted to raise it up. Now, I think it is going to be a hair's breadth whether I get caught on those injectors or whatever that, I guess that's air pressure sensor or something, I don't know, whatever that is. So I may have to take a nip out of this, but we'll figure that out when the pull goes forward. Oh, I need to put this in, make sure I still can. There we go. So, that is paracord, 3 loops. Is it strong? It's strong enough. Even if it breaks, it's not a big deal, and I don't think it will break because that's 210 kilos, 460 pounds, and it's sliding wood on wood, so it's not like it's super high friction. Ryan's gonna do the honors of pulling. Well, I watch to make sure it doesn't go side to side and yell stop if we're close to any kind of obstruction. I'll be watching for the prop tube, make sure that it doesn't get contact with the oil pan, and making sure that this doesn't have contact with this. Now faffing about, as they say where I grew up, it's time to shit or get off the pot. Yeah, that's where it's gonna hit if it's gonna hit anywhere. Here we go. Take up slack very gently. Okay, is it shifting to either side? Nope. These wires are going to get in the way, but I'll... Okay, okay.
Let me know when you want to start again.
Okay, it's shifting, the arse is shifting this way. So I need to release. I'm going to move this over and pull it from that side to rack it back. How is... Oh, I can put my hand between.
Oh, so we got lots of space.
Lots of space, yeah, okay.
Ready?
Pull, yeah. Hold. It's the arse is kicking out this way. I'm going to go into the lazarette and try to push the back this way a little. Pull. Oh, stop. As I feared, the lifter thing is going to... Okay, let me show you what I'm talking about. The lifter assembly here is going to make contact with that. Can I take these off? Because if I can take this off, and if I can take this top cap off here, then I'll have enough space. One step down, what is that? 11? It's the 10. Of course it's the 10 mil.
Okay. You still have the 10 mil, so we're all good.
I actually had to buy a replacement.
The rumors of the 10 mil are true.
Oh God, yes. Okay. My hands are just going to get dirty and I'll have to deal with it. Okay. Can I give you that, please? Okay, now I need to get the top off. What the hell is that?
Some kind of filter, looks like.
Yeah, look at that in there. Oops. Ready to pull. Okay. Okay. Stop. Can you put that cover back on?
You ready to pull again?
Okay, everything's clear. Yeah, go ahead. Oh, hold on. It's caught on something. Is the bell housing hitting the bottom?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
So we need to get this up.
Now it's time to lift. So what's happening is the bottom of the bell housing was hitting on here. So now it's time to hook up the lifting eye. Can I get the come along?
Well, if we put another board underneath the engine and just continue to slide it out forward.
You mean put like it in like this and then prise it up?
I think that's a worthwhile endeavor.
You mean like lift under here?
Yeah. Lift the whole sled up.
Okay, first, I need to put the boards down while I still can. That was so successful. These lips are going to cause a problem. Where's the drill? That's it. That's the full length I can get. Oh, what a joke this is.
If we get this out farther, then we're...
The problem is we can't get it any further.
If you lever it up.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Harbor Freight, only the best. Harbor Freight. Princess Auto, same. So you're thinking under here like this?
Yeah.
Yeah, push.
Oh, push.
There we go.
So I'll pick it up so you slide that one. Well, let me take the bulk of the weight.
Okay.
Because this is...
Okay. We have to be very careful this doesn't fall off the rails. The concern is we can't have the back shift over and fall.
Alright. So let me know when you're ready.
Okay, pull. Pull. Okay, letting it down. Bell housing's clear.
Can you see where the oil pan's sitting?
The oil pan is definitely going to be what's the next problem.
Have we gained enough distance for the come along to reach?
If I put a loose enough loop on the 4x4 above us, then it should be fine. The closer we get, the harder it gets. I call myself a sailor. Not a good one, but I call myself a sailor, so I should really start making sure I learn to use my lines. Editing Maddie, don't show this knot. I don't need that kind of hate in my life. How am I the back? I'm watching a few things at once now.
Okay, stop. The block is just sliding backwards.
Okay, so this problem is with this setup up here. The companionway is raked and there's nothing I can do about that. We have to do it entirely from down below. Okay, get ready to pull. Pull. Okay, I am destroying this. Okay, get ready to pull. Pull. Yep, it's the oil pan. It's stuck on the oil pan. I have to lift it.
Okay, what if we take... no, be that sliding forward. How do we stop that from sliding forward? The overhead.
I don't have a clue. You know what, I do have a clue. The Traveler's back there. I can lash it to the Traveler. So the problem we're having is that when we put pressure on this, it starts to slide forward. So I'm going to lash this to the Traveler to keep it from being able to move forward. Okay, it's not perfect, but it should be fine. Okay, do you want to put some weight on it and see if it slides forward?
Yep. Okay, we're trying to get tension on the lines.
My lines seem to be holding. Okay, I'm coming down. Fucking jerry-rigged to jerry-rig. Can you hold that? Okay, so this is bringing it that way.
Yep, I'm gonna want to go towards you.
Yep, I just gotta be careful it doesn't fall off the rails.
Come along.
So many things to watch at once.
Yep. I'll try and slide it forward more. You alright?
Yeah, I'm fine. As my mom always said, if you're gonna be clumsy, you better be tough. Okay, you got that?
Yep.
She really wants to roll over, eh? Okay.
Wait, what? It's floating.
Is it fully floating?
It's not fully floating. I'm just carrying a little bit of weight.
Can you take this up?
Yep. Alright, we got tension on it.
Okay, hold on.
Attached to the sled with more.
Oh, yeah, it's pulled right. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Okay, so that's not gonna work anymore. Okay, she's really just floating, isn't she?
Yeah.
We have lost our rails. She's floating free. But that is what we wanted. All right, I think at this point, it's just a matter of get the 4x4s in place. Now the 4x4s are not gonna be high enough. I'm gonna need 2 4x4s. Okay, is this? No, this is doing nothing anymore. Thank you. Okay, this one I will put in after because it's gonna have to spin around this way. Can I get that long 2x4? I'm gonna lift up like this, slide it under further. Okay, she is fully resting now on the oil pan. Okay, she's coming off the engine.
Almost there.
No.
Alright?
Yeah, can you get some weight behind that back corner, please? Just back here, because it's wanting to roll that way. I just don't want it to roll over. Thank you. I have no idea if any of this is usable footage, and right at the moment, I no longer care.
Nothing we can do about it right now.
Nope. Sorry, tube of fumes, we did our best. Ah!
You alright?
Yep, it just rolled on my toe, but I got 10 of them. Okay.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, heavy. Okay, so that back engine mounts on. I'm gonna...
Okay, you gotta get the other 4x4.
Yep. Here, I'm gonna trade you. I've got the engine.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Hold on a second. There we go. Okay, that should be good. And that clears the pump as well. Okay, now we're good to drop. I don't see what you're doing, but I see how it's working. That's cool. Basically use the lever to control the release.
Yep.
I haven't used a come along in a very, very long time, but I remembered that I liked them. The engine's out. This is where I would normally do a really loud yelling cheer, but I don't want to blow his ears out, so yay! That's my quiet inside voice. She's on a pair of 4x4s. I'll probably short that up before I leave. Ah, Ryan, thank you! Yeah, I've cut myself. I've stepped on a screw. I'm in sad shape, but I am happy as can be. I have been pondering how the hell this was going to happen since I bought the boat in February of what, 22, 21? Whenever I bought the boat. Everything is out of power, including myself. Myself, that's plural, and I'm only one, I think. I'm going to turn off the cameras. We have no shore power, so I can't really recharge anything. I think I'm going to call this the end of the episode because, I mean, she's out. After this, it's just cleanup. I have one more day where I'm going to have to get the yard to come along with their boom to hoist it right out of the boat. Now that this is out, I can go talk to them to schedule that. I'll call them on Monday. And then once that's out, it's just clean up and start prepping for the motors to go, or the batteries and the motors to go in. Oh, let me show you. This is a fisheye lens, wrong camera. Let me use the other camera. That's a lot of space for batteries. I still want to try to get all 7 in. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. If I can get 6 in, that would be optimal. That's what I originally planned for, 83 kilowatt hours, 86 kilowatt hours, though it's the batteries of age, so it's probably actually closer to 82 or 83 kilowatt hours. Even if I have to go to 5, you know what? I can start. Oh, I was talking to Ryan about this actually yesterday. I might only go in with 3 because I'm going to want to watch the trim once she starts floating. So, well, anyways, blah, 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 blah. I'm the Digital Mermaid. If you like this stuff, do the YouTube doobly-doo thingies, and the engine's out. Bye. Hey May, yeah, this is going to keep us warm, or cool, or whatever we need to use it for.